WNN and TrentoVision.tv. Now, let's get a peek at Tom's view of the world. Here's Tom Trento.
Okay, no, this is not a good day, not by any means. What occurred today, what is going on right now in Newtown, Connecticut, is almost beyond imaginable, though these things seem to be happening more and more as society deteriorates more and more. But to have something like this happen 11 days before Christmas, in the middle of Hanukkah, times of celebration, times of being together with your family and your children, is shocking. I mean, we're all in here, myself, Mark, CJ, Mike, Joe, and as the news is breaking, we're finding out more and more on the shooting that occurred at 9:41 East Coast time this morning in Newtown, Connecticut, small town of about 27,000 people, upper middle class town that is emblematic of life in the 50s, peaceful, serene place to raise your children, place that had excellent schools. People moved there to send their kids to school. This particular school, Sandy Hook Elementary School, was the scene of a historic tragedy in the United States of America. If you have not heard this yet, a shooter, young guy by the name of Ryan Lanza, R-Y-A-N Lanza, L-A-N-Z-A. Reports right now have him living in or from Hoboken, New Jersey, not that far from Newtown, Connecticut. Ryan Lanza this morning went into the Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. He had several pistols, automatic pistols. He had a rifle. Apparently he had camouflage and body armor, and he went into a classroom of young children. We're still following the wires here and trying to get the reports. This is not the show, folks, that we were going to be bringing to you today. It's the show that necessitates an analysis and communication on. Ryan Lanza, 20 years old, walked into the Sandy Hook Elementary School this morning, 9:41 East Coast time, 6 hours ago, and I'm hearing an echo here somewhere, took 2 pistols at least, a rifle. It's being reported that he fired over 100 rounds. That is absolutely amazing, but when you're shooting 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old kids, it's probably reasonable that he would just assassinate or execute people with impunity. Well, the first person he shot, this is bizarre, the first person he shot in the classroom was the teacher. And clearly this is a significant piece of this demonic puzzle. The teacher was Ryan Lanza's mother. So this morning at 9:41, Ryan Lanza walks into an elementary school in Newtown, Connecticut, not far from Hartford, shoots his mother, kills his mother, and then shoots 18 young children in the classroom and kills them. Then he kills several adults about 9 more people, 8 or 9 more people, and then he turns the gun on himself and killed himself. I don't know if you're following this, if you're driving in your car or watching at home or listening on iHeartRadio. This is one of those unimaginable tragedies. Unimaginable means if you sat down and tried to imagine a horrible situation where someone walked into a classroom, killed the teacher who happened to be his mother, then killed all the students, then killed the adults running toward the scene to help, then finally kills himself. 100 rounds shot. It had to be the epitome of hell. As I was watching the reports early this morning on the news, it did not seem as dramatically horrible as it's turning out to be. But there were indications with all the ambulances, there were scores of ambulances, that indeed something unimaginable had happened. We are going to stay with this for a little bit. We're trying to get some information. Everybody's been busy running around out there. All your Hanukkah or Christmas preparations, and you're not too close to the news, but this is critically important news on many levels. One, just for the sake of what is occurring. Number two, all the schools in that area, if not the whole state of Connecticut, if not every school in the United States, has been put on notice. Certainly, we know for a fact that the schools in the immediate area are on lockdown, and they're trying to get the kids out safely, because you never know if there's going to be a secondary event, attack, either planned or a copycat person. But right now, our thoughts, our prayers need to go to these 18 children, 18 families of children, and then another 8 families of adults at a time when the Christmas lights and the candles should reflect joy and happiness and peace and all that is good about the human spirit, but that is not what happened in Newtown, Connecticut today. Mark, you were away last week, 2 weeks ago, and you were staying, you said, not too far from this area. Could you help the viewers and listeners, give them a feel for the type of area that we're talking about in Connecticut?
Yeah, Connecticut, where is about 20 minutes away from where I was just staying. And it's just a, it's a sleepy little town.
Yeah, your wife has friends and family right in that area. We're trying to go beyond the news to try to get some people that are close by to report on this. As of right now, breaking news, and we're gonna give you as much information as we can. And if you need to call your kid, if they have a cell phone now, just to hear their voice, go right ahead and do that. It's not a bad idea. 27 dead, 18 of them children. Adults heard the gunfire, ran toward screaming kids, as it was complete chaos in this little sleepy town elementary school. And the shooter, Ryan Lanza, interestingly, as soon as the name of the shooter was identified, we immediately went to Facebook here in our studio, and it's interesting what has happened. A Facebook site just went up, almost memorializing the shooter, Ryan, the killer, Ryan Lanza. But then we found Ryan Lanza's Facebook page. He had 100 and something friends. We started looking at it, and this is 10 minutes ago, 5 or 6 minutes before we came on the air. We started going through his Facebook page to find any statement that he made, any conversations he's been in lately, and we knew this Facebook page was not staying up. It's forensic evidence. It's coming down very quickly, so it can't be tampered with and can be investigated thoroughly.
They just pulled down the other Facebook page too, Tom.
And Ryan Lanza's primary Facebook page was pulled down. We did pull a picture. Let's get a picture up. If you're watching on TrentoVision.tv, we're going to show you a picture of Ryan Lanza, the killer of 27 people, 18 children. His Facebook page was taken down, and we have a little bit of information about him that was depicted on the pages of his Facebook page, and that other one is taken down, Mark?
Yeah, they just pulled the other page down, the Associated page.
What can you...
That Associated page was another person who was put it up to December 9th. So this guy had some information, and they were already had Ryan Lanza. He's already talking about him. So there's something going on here.
Well, I have a Facebook page of Ryan Lanza right now that was put up 33 minutes ago. So what they're doing is whoever's pulling these things down, probably Facebook, looks like other people are putting them up. Mike, do you have this one?
Yeah.
It's Facebook.com/RIP.
I have a bunch open.
R.I.P. in peace, Ryan
I have it.
Lanza.
Yeah, capital RIP. You got that?
Yeah.
All right, pull some pictures off of that, or put our software over it.
Well, let me see what page you're looking at, because there's a ton of...
Well, look at the URL. The URL is facebook.com/capital R, capital I, capital P, capital R, YAN, capital LANZA.
Yeah, I can't keep up with all the new ones that are being put up.
Yeah.
Why are these new ones being put up? Here's what it says.
Go to facebook.com/stoner hashirama.
Stoner?
Stoner hashirama.
Stoner hash. That's interesting.
No, this is under the little headings. It says this man had gotten a 27 kill streak December 14th.
I have no audio here. I think the master is very low.
No, don't mess with it.
I have no audio whatsoever. Nothing coming.
I have
very,
the static. I can hear you in the room.
Yeah, I'm hearing the.
Yeah, I'm hearing you in real
Yeah,
time.
let me put it up like
Yeah.
that, maybe. I'm pegged all the way. Ugh. Be careful if it gets turned up. Let me put. The master's very low.
Please don't do that.
I can't hear anything. Something's off here. All right, that's a little better. Yeah, that's a little better. Let me read what this Facebook page says. Who put it up, Mike? Do we know? I mean, how did these
It's
things...
Stoner Hashirama. This man had gotten a 27 kill streak December 14th at 9 a.m. He then died and is yet to respond. Like to show your respect.
All right, well, this Facebook page of Ryan Lanza, and we're going to Facebook for the listening and viewing audience, because why in the world, and if you got any ideas or you have any information on this, we're going to stay with this for a bit. It's give us a call, 888-565-1470. I lost it.
A break, I'll tell you.
All right, 888-565-1470. If you have any insight, if you know anyone in the Newtown, Connecticut area, if you have any thoughts on this tragedy, this horrible situation, give us a call, 888-565-1470. We're trying to do some analysis on it. We're trying to figure it out. We're trying to not make sense. You can't make sense out of this right now. But we're trying to get a handle on what's going on. And one of the reasons why we go into Facebook is that 20-year-old, I mean, everybody's on Facebook nowadays. A 20-year-old is lives on Facebook. That's their life, their communication. This working? Their life, their communication, their entertainment. You can tell. Oh, static like crazy.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah. Nope. Hello. No, nothing. Nothing.
Static.
Okay. Well, we got problems. All right. Well, we'll fix it later. We'll keep moving ahead. We have a little audio problem on our side in here, but it's not going to stop what we're doing. If anyone has any insight into this or want to share any thoughts or share any feelings for the family members, 888-565-1470. I'm going to read some of this Facebook page. We can't read it all because there's some words that you cannot repeat on the radio. But somebody put under his picture, and he's dressed in a black hoodie. He's got a black, what kind of cap would that be? What kind of hat is that? Anybody know the name of that hat? It's almost like
It's like a beret.
it's a beret with a brim.
Yeah. That's like what Mike wears.
Yeah. You know anything about that
I
hat?
wear that. No, I don't.
Dark sunglasses, and this is the shot, whoever put his Facebook page up.
Yeah,
This
but
is-
a lot of people are saying that that picture is not the man who shot the kids.
No, there's
Oh, really?
Yeah.
there's something. If you go to the weatherspace.com, that's where he worked. There's actual.
Well, I was on the New York Times, and they had that. So let's
yeah,
check
but
that
people
again.
people are saying that that's not the one, and somebody with that picture is saying this is not me. I am
Oh,
not
that's
that
very
Ryan
interesting.
Lanza.
Oh.
The weatherspace.com, Mike?
Yeah.
Well, the New York Times is getting. Well,
Weather. Like weather.
this reminds me of. This reminds me of
That's where he worked.
the Murrah Building bombing back in Oklahoma City in 1995. I was a guest on a radio show and wound up hosting the show, and I was in the middle of the breaking news on that, and there were so much information, much of it accurate, much of it totally in left field. So you talk about the fog of war. Shootings like this, there's always a fog of facts.
Yeah.
So we're checking into the New York Times has identified the shooter as Ryan Lanza from Hoboken, New Jersey. He shot his mother at Sandy Hook Elementary School this morning at 9:41. There was a picture of Ryan Lanza. We went to the Facebook page, and the Ryan Lanza Facebook page was immediately taken down. So we're trying to confirm what Ryan Lanza looks like right now. In one sense, it's irrelevant. He's dead, and he's become infamous. He will become infamous in U.S. history. The New York Times says this shooting ranks among the worst in recent United States history. I don't know if there was ever a shooting of this magnitude of little kids. Anybody?
Well, probably Beslan, Russia.
Well, no. I mean, in the U.S., certainly.
In the U.S. of little kids?
Yeah.
No, I don't think
No,
so.
in Beslan, the shooting in Russia was part of a Islamic Jihad, and I don't think this has anything to do with Islamic Jihad. There's no indicators whatsoever. But on the intelligence that's been found by international and national intelligence agencies, this kind of event is on the list of things that Islamic Jihad wants to do in the United States because it's so emotionally, psychologically destructive, absolutely destructive.
Yeah.
So when I first saw this, I said, but Muslim shooters rarely kill
They
themselves.
don't kill themselves.
No, they're doing this to go to
They
paradise.
want to make a statement, though.
They want to make a statement, and they got to die in jihad. So this has no indication whatsoever. But is it possible that the concept was seen somewhere? Who knows? We're going to look into it. It's looking to me, I don't know, your thoughts, CJ, it's looking to me like this guy obviously hated his mother to the point of wanting to kill her. And we don't know if he killed her first, then killed the kids, or in hating her so much he killed the kids and then killed her, let her see him killing the kids. We don't know, but what are your thoughts?
Do you think the parents of the kids who are dead and the family members of the adults who are dead care
No.
what order this was
No,
done in?
the investigators will care, law enforcement will care, the historians will care, but the forensic psychologists will care, but no, the parents and the family members and the friends and Americans. I mean, this is a tragedy that reverberates. Anybody that gets in their automobile in the morning and drops their kids off at school or drops them off at the bus stop, this hits to the marrow of their bones, clearly.
I just went to a talent show
last night.
at the, at my nephew's school.
Yeah.
Packed full of kids running around and
Okay, it's 25 minutes after 3. This is Tom Trento, TrentoVision .tv. If you're watching on, Mike, let's get a two-shot in here.
this
If you're
is,
watching on the internet, TrentoVision.tv. And if you're listening on the radio side, WNN 1470, we're broadcasting live on December 14th. 7 days ago, we spoke of a day of infamy, and in U.S. History, this is a very, very sad day.
I pulled up.
obviously.
I mean, there's you should see what's what's on the internet now. I mean, just lists of the 10 deadliest mass shootings in the
Yeah, of
U.S.,
course.
the deadliest mass shootings worldwide, and I'm scrolling through these, and there's nothing that rivals what happened today. As far as just little children being targeted.
What?
It's just,
I mean, obviously at this stage of the game we're speculating, but we're speculating with some facts. We have a 20-year-old who is listed on his Facebook. It's not his Facebook page. It's a page that somebody put up. Ryan, it says artist. I described how he was dressed: a black hoodie, sunglasses, a cap, looking off to his right, up toward the up to about to his right around 11 o'clock or so. And it says Ryan was a great photographer and a pretty nice guy. If this is the same Ryan,
right.
Ryan Lanza.
Yeah, because a lot of different sites are saying this is not the Ryan Lanza who did the shooting.
I mean, the picture.
The picture.
What
yeah.
about the comments? Ryan was a great photographer and pretty nice guy. He loved
Well,
video
also
games.
the age being different too.
And he loved to hang out with his friends. Here is where we talk about this deceased man. So, looks like somebody who knows him threw this Facebook page up pretty quickly. Let's see what the photos are. It doesn't even go to photos. So the Facebook page, I think that one's gone now. Yeah, it looks like that one's gone already. Do you still have that one, Mark?
The other one?
Yeah, any
No. That last Facebook page was taken down.
Okay, so as fast as these things are going up, they're being taken down. Let's try to find a Connecticut newspaper and see what they're reporting. We're going to try to bring you some information on this, folks. It's 28 minutes after 3 o'clock. As I said, this wasn't our show for today. Our show was, and we'll probably resume the next hour because these things have a a way of leveling off to some extent in terms of the information. But rest assured, many families tonight are going to be in shock. Many relatives are making preparations to fly from around the United States to be with their loved ones who lost their children. So this is a horrendously shocking situation. And it'll be about 1 minute before the crazy left starts calling for gun control and, what did Chris Rock or somebody said, bullets should be $50,000 a piece. That would solve all these problems. This is a situation.
One thing I do know about Connecticut, that the school zones are gun-free zones. There's no guns allowed in schools. There's no guns allowed around the areas. I mean, it is a very restrictive state as far as gun control laws. I mean, it has pretty stringent gun control laws. So.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, that just means that people who lawfully own guns and bullets will not bring them into those areas. That doesn't mean that somebody who wants to do harm or criminals doing some criminal activity aren't going to go ahead and do it anyway.
Yeah.
Laws apply only to the lawful.
Yeah,
That's what people don't understand about gun control laws. If somebody wants to kill you or hurt you, they will find a way to do it. It's only the people who are lawful who will cease from activities.
Yeah, we already have Michael Moore commenting.
Oh,
Connecticut gun laws, no permit needed to buy shotguns and rifles. All right, well, if you would, I just lose the argument.
But you do
here.
need permits to purchase handguns, registration of handguns, licensing. It's got some stuff here. So the bottom line is the left doesn't like to look at the root causes of these sort of situations. The left doesn't like to look at the root causes, which obviously is something going on between this kid and his mother of such magnitude that he wants to kill a bunch of people, little innocent people. But the left will jump on this, and we'll hear the tired, arguments, but they miss the fact that you could have 17,000 gun laws. If somebody wants to go buy a gun illegally somewhere and go hurt people, it's very difficult to stop that. It's virtually impossible to stop that.
We do have a caller if you want to take a caller.
Yeah, I can't hear anything. Who is it?
Can you? Okay. Roger?
Oh, he was calling in. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see if this does anything.
Just turn it up.
Hello, Roger. Oh, it's back.
Can you hear him?
Yeah. Oh, it's
I
back.
can't hear him.
I don't hear him, but I hear me.
Oh, okay.
Roger.
Roger, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Speak up a little, Roger.
I know you were calling in on some other issue that.
Actually, I'm listening. Okay, and I'd like to just say one thing about the subject that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. I think that the left is going to jump all over this and use it as an excuse to restrict our Second Amendment rights. Okay, but I really don't think that that's going to stop the nutcase like this guy who shot his parents and children in a kindergarten. If you think back, you can recall that there was people who poisoned, I believe it was Excedrin bottles that they put into the stores, and they poisoned the inside. So the creative mind is going to find a way to do their dirty deeds. Okay, regardless, you can't. Passing a law and restricting gun rights is defensive. Okay, you can't win on defense. It doesn't work anywhere. So I don't think that passing laws to restrict gun ownership or anything like that is going to stop the nutcase from doing an act like what was done in this school. Okay, that's not going to work. You need to be proactive. And if you're going to be proactive to fight that kind of stuff, then we have to change the type of video games that children are being brought up with that is so realistic that it teaches them how to kill and walk through urban areas with these rifles that look like it puts them in the first person shooting all of these people in urban settings in these games. It teaches them specifically how to do that, and it desensitizes them to their to their feelings about killing human beings. So I think that we need to do more proactive stuff to prevent this type of a result. I don't think it's gun ownership that's the problem.
The gun ownership issue, and this isn't a show on the Second Amendment right now, but we do want to preempt the left's argument because they're media whores. Michael Moore is a media whore. They will take any situation like this and try to immediately stick it to some constitutional right, whether it's First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third, whatever it is. So we're just preempting that, saying this is not a gun ownership issue or gun law issue by any means. This is. Right. But what do you think it is? I mean, you have a very good point, Roger, about.
Well, I disagree with him about the video game issue. I mean, it just it goes back to harkens back to where magazines and cartoons and were somehow corrupting the youth back in the 1950s.
Right.
It's just
the 1970s.
And I just don't see it. I mean, what's happening is we're trying to blame a group thing for something that it's an individual that's doing it. And you have to look at the individual, why he did this. This is not a group issue. I mean, you don't have mass killings of people who play video games and go out there and kill them en masse. No, it's not like, for example, you have an ideology like, for example, Islam or something like that, which does have that context to it, which I would agree with you. But, video games are not Islam.
No, all these kids have common traits where they're lost and trying to escape. They're all comic book fans. They're all fans of Japanese animation. They're playing video games. So it's the same escapist mentality where they lose. They have a psychic break and they lose grasp of reality and just need to go on a killing spree. So that's absolutely not. The motive is there, and I mean,
but the motive. I'm saying that anime cartoons are not causing them to go out and do it. They're disassociating from society. They're disassociating from interaction. I mean, if you want to look at it that way, hell, let's ban computers because they're the medium.
No, I think the difference is, Mark. Okay, and I understand where you're coming from.
Hang on. Let Roger weigh in.
How far over the edge you go? Back in the early 50s and late 40s and so forth, okay, the cartoons that existed in those days, when I was a child, I saw cartoons like Crazy Cat, and they were practically animated stick figures, and Crazy Cat would constantly throw a brick.
Hey, hang on, Roger, hang on, Roger. Mike.
Sure thing.
I'm going to send you a link. There's a press conference live streamed now.
Actually, I was going to suggest that because I'm getting it right now.
What do you have, Mark?
I got Fox News Live coming in through it, but I'm trying to pick it up. So go ahead and talk to
Mike. Go to livestream.com/FoxCT, lowercase. Livestream.com/FoxCT. And put that window in. Let's listen to this. We're going to put for our viewers and listeners, I'm on the Connecticut Current, the Hartford Current newspaper site, and the Fox affiliate is covering a press conference live right now. What the heck just happened?
Livestream.com/
I just lost my computer. /FoxCT.
Okay.
My computer overheated. That's nice. And shut off.
Do you want to?
No, it'll take a second. Then I just got to shut off a couple things here.
I think Roger had a very good point where regardless of whether it's TV or video games or cartoons or whatever it is, I mean, I remember the case back in the 70s. Remember Ronnie Zamora, who killed his neighbor, 15-year-old kid who killed his neighbor?
The juice?
And what
was
did
that the sugar or whatever?
It was his defense was he was intoxicated by watching too much TV, and he watched Kojak all the time, and blah blah blah. But being desensitized to violence, having no pathos, not being able to connect with other human beings. That's what all these shooters and killers have in common. And when you are in that state, that's where you have the behaviors that Mike is talking about. It's like a negative feedback loop. because you are becoming because you have removed yourself from other people, you are desensitized to violence, you seek out the types of input and activities that you can relate to, and that's going to come from the anime and the violent video games and all this other kind of stuff. It makes perfect sense. It's a negative feedback loop. You
as
already
that
were removing
technology
yourself from
improves-
society, and you found an outlet that you could connect to while you were doing that.
But as the technology improves, so does its effect on the viewer. So the cartoons of the 40s and 50s, okay, did not have the impact or the effect on children that video games have. Video games are far more realistic and puts the player into a more realistic scenario. I mean, God Almighty, we have flight simulators.
Okay, Roger, hang on, Roger.
Okay, hang on, Roger, yeah.
We're going to the live, this live feed. Hang on. You can watch it on
Hi, good
on
evening.
We have another
Trent-O-Vision.
caller
I
as
just would
well.
like to
Tom.
restate some of the information that we made available earlier.
All right, for the audience, we're playing a live feed right now coming out of Connecticut. You can listen on the radio side and watch
There's
too.
a great deal of work to go, and there's a lot of things that we cannot confirm or discuss as of yet. But shortly after 9:30 this morning, Newtown Police Department received a call for help at the Sandy Hook Elementary School here in Newtown. Upon realizing the intensity and the difficulty of the situation, Newtown called for surrounding police departments and state police to respond to assist. Upon arrival of law enforcement officers at the school, they immediately entered the
Everybody
school.
who's on the line, just stay on and listen to the feed, and then we'll get you on.
Their focus was to search for students, faculty, and staff and remove them to a safe area outside of the school. They did search every nook and cranny, every room, and every portion of that school and accomplished that task. They took the rescue to a staging area to reunite them with family members. As has been reported, there were fatalities. There were 18 children that were pronounced dead at the school.
Oh, God.
There were 2 that were transported to area hospitals and pronounced dead at area hospitals. And there were 6 adults pronounced dead at the scene at the school. As the governor has reported, the shooter is deceased. He's deceased in the school. There's a great deal of work going on relative to that. That's the reason we have not identified him as of yet. And by that I mean search warrants, examination of areas of
The New York
residence,
Times has
employment, and
identified
any
him as
ancillary
Ryan
things that
Lanza.
may be attached to the identity and to that individual. The scene has been secured. Newtown police officers, state police major crime units from both Western District and Central District have responded and are working with several agencies to process this scene. It is not a simplistic scene, as you can certainly understand. We need to establish identity, we need to document the entire scene, and simply stated, we need to answer every single question surrounding exactly how and why this incident occurred. As the governor said, we will be here through the night, certainly through the weekend, and we're not even putting a time stamp on this as to when we will complete this project. We'll work with the medical examiner's office. We have to establish positive identification, and again, there's a great deal of work that needs to be done here at the school. We'll take some very brief questions, but understand that this is an active, ongoing case, and there are many things that we cannot and will not discuss at this time. Yes, sir.
We're told that there are 2 other crime scenes, including the suspect's father's home in New Jersey and his mother's home here in Newtown.
There is a secondary crime scene here in Newtown. That is in fact correct. There is an adult deceased at that location.
Killed his
I
father,
can't
too.
discuss any further information on that at this time. There is assistance being lended to us by New Jersey. I don't have the details on that, so I can't answer that. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. Okay, I can simply state that the information that we have right now that we want to publicize that the shootings did take place in one section of the school in 2 rooms. Okay, one section in 2 rooms. That's as much as we want to go in right now as far as location. Our personnel are documenting that entire scene, and we'll have literally everything mapped out in the final report, final information. We'll present the answers to those questions. But right now, I don't have any more detail than that. Okay. You had a question, sir. Someone? Right now, there is one shooter, but again, We're still looking at every ancillary fact and circumstance related to the deceased shooter at the scene. Yes?
Specifics on the weapons used?
No, I don't have that information. I'm sorry.
Did the shooter take his own life?
To be determined, I don't have the answer to that question either. The next step will be the medical examiner's office will certainly assist us in answering a lot of those questions, the manner and cause of death of all of the deceased.
How many injured?
That's it. 26 deceased.
No injuries?
One injury. One person was injured. Yes. I'm sorry? They were in one section or one area of the school. That's the best I can do on that answer. I don't know specifically how many rooms were involved. I was told that there were 2, but in one section of the school building.
And then with the adults, were they in other?
Everyone was in that same section of the building.
Was that kindergarten?
Not to be determined, sir. A section of the building is as far as we want to go.
Did you already say how the shooter died? It was
We did not. We did not. That's to be determined once the postmortem examinations are complete. As a-
The shooter as well?
The
sorry?
state police captain here is doing a
20
very good
children,
job.
six adults, and the shooter. 27 total. That's correct.
20 children you said?
And the one at the hospital.
That is just at the school.
That's correct. That's at the school itself. And then there's one more, as we just said, at a secondary crime scene. There's a deceased adult at the secondary crime scene.
We know the
Yes,
ages
ma'am.
of this.
To be determined. That's really something that our investigators are going to have to look at thoroughly and completely, and that'll take some time to try and answer that question. We haven't established any of that, ma'am. We have not made any positive identifications. We're working on that. There's some preliminary identifications been made, but we have, as I said, a great deal of
Lieutenant.
work. That's one thing we have to do is establish positive identification on all the deceased, and that's a time-consuming process.
Lieutenant, do we know the ages of the victims? The ages, the age range?
I don't. No, I don't. This is a K through 4 elementary school.
And when
Okay.
police went into the school, were there still shots being fired at that time?
That I don't know. I don't know the time sequence, and that'll be something that we will
Did the
provide you.
police shoot?
What I'd like to do is, no, we did not. What I'd like to do then is tell you that this is a briefing. We'll be back in 60 minutes. Myself and Lieutenant from Newtown will be back in 60 minutes. We'll see if there's any more detail. I've got some of the questions that you've posed. I'll see if I can get some more answers to provide you with information, and that will be just about 20 to 5, quarter to 5.
CJ.
Yeah.
That I don't know.
Lieutenant, it's 20 children, 6 adults, and the shooter. Is that correct?
20 children, 6 adults in the facility, plus the shooter. That's 27, and then a secondary scene with an additional adult victim at that secondary scene. Okay?
You said quarter to 5 for another?
Yeah, about 20 up, quarter to 5 will be.
Do you have an age range on the children?
I do not.
yet?
I do not.
Lieutenant, Lieutenant,
Yeah. One thing I would like to say is that we've been meeting with all of the family members. It's a very, very difficult scene for the family members, for all the responding first responders. It's a tragedy. It's a tragic scene. We've been asked by the family members to ask the members of the press to respect their privacy and to please leave them alone at this time.
It's like the 2
We're going
guys in
through a
Colorado,
tremendous
Dylan
amount of
and,
grief, which I'm sure you can appreciate. So
when they went into
I've been asked
Columbine.
to ask you that personally by the family members. All right. I'll be back in 60 minutes with Lieutenant. We'll answer any additional questions we can.
Real quickly, you prepare,
I don't know. I get it.
real quickly, you prepare for scenarios like this. Give us an idea of the emotions that are now enveloping
The communities come together, certainly all the first responders that come together, counselors. It's amazing how the immense amount of family has shown here in the town of Newtown.
What are you reading?
Everyone's coming together, supporting everyone,
Oh.
working together, trying to answer all the questions as to how and why this occurred, and trying to lend support to all the people involved, including the victims. Okay?
How long did it take? How long from when he started shooting to when he stopped?
I cannot answer that question, ma'am. I'll see if I can at least narrow it down somewhat in our next briefing. Okay? Okay.
State Police Lieutenant Paul Vance updating his earlier briefing, and he's promised another one in another hour or so to give us
Let this
more
run. Let's see what
information
happens
based on
here
some
for
of
a
the
second.
questions that he couldn't answer right now. He'll see if he can answer.
We're at
He
Fox,
emphasized that this
Connecticut.
is
We're watching
an
the
active
feed, and you're
ongoing
listening to the feed
investigation,
coming out of
and
Fox
they're
News
reluctant to
in
release
Connecticut
information
right now.
until they can put it all together.
And clarifying, really, in a sad way, that we had been reporting 18 children dead. We now know it's actually 22 children were taken to area hospitals and then pronounced dead there. So 18 children found dead inside of the school, 2 taken to area hospitals and pronounced dead later, along with 6 adults at the school, the gunman, and another adult at a location in the Sandy Hook area.
Yeah, you wouldn't comment on who was at this other scene, who the dead person was, but there are other media accounts that indicate that it was, well, we don't know who it was, but so we'll leave it there. Also, there was a question about the father having, according to some reports, been found dead in New Jersey, where the suspect, the suspected gunman who used his own life lived.
Where's the book?
And so we're still trying to sort that out. Maybe we'll get more information in another hour that will be helpful, and again, helping us understand this.
That absorbs the shock.
He reiterated some of the information about
Because
how
it comes
the
across.
911 call came into local police, and then the state police came in and assisted, and the first thing they did is, since there was a gunman in the building,
I'm going to take the callers in a minute here.
We're going to go right in there and get the kids and faculty and staff out of there and get them to
All right, we can cut out of Fox
There's
News.
another press conference that's taking place.
There'll be another press conference in a little bit.
Oh, they're at the Danbury Hospital doing a press conference there.
We have one there right now? Let's go there, all right.
Spiritual, first and foremost. Secondly,
This is Danbury Hospital,
I am
Danbury,
blessed to have
Connecticut.
a highly trained staff of professionals who are
How
prepared
could
to
you
handle
take these little
minor
kids in there?
injuries to
Yeah,
major
well, there's only 2 of them.
injuries,
There's
including
18 of them.
gunshot wounds. It's not something that, thankfully, we see in our community often, but when we do, the team goes into motion. We reach back onto the fundamentals of trauma resuscitation, trauma care. We practice this often. We have all of the necessary staff and equipment available. So the staff just goes into what they do, their professional approach to these patients, and that's how we approach them. The 3 patients that we received arrived within a 5-minute time span of each other.
I would guess it was about 30 minutes or so before we realized that was...
All right, Mike, let's cut out of that for a second. Let's grab the couple of people on the phone, and then we'll have to take our break and then come back to all of this.
Okay, let's go.
insanity.
Let's go first to Michael. We have Michael on the line.
Hi, Tom. CJ.
Hi there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just heard the president speak also.
Okay. How'd that go?
Have you heard him?
We did not hear him speak.
Wait, let him talk. Go ahead.
This man just said that we're going to put a stop to this. There's not going to be any more killings, and I don't care if it's political or not. We all know what that means. You agree?
I don't know if you caught about the middle part of our reporting on this, but we tried to preempt that sort of knee-jerk reaction to this that comes out of the left whenever there's any tragedy like this or any shooting of any magnitude. It's an immediate, all right, we got to ban all guns, we have to have new laws. There's, as CJ said and Mark said, you can have 1,000 laws. These guys, they killed their mother, their father, and they were on a mission. And it looks like we're getting more information here. And
I'm just irate that he brought this up.
Yeah. Well, he's. What do you expect? I mean, we tried not to elect this gentleman as the president again. The country got him, and he's kind of immune. He's a lame duck president. He can say what he wants to say.
And he never misses an opportunity to exploit a tragedy.
No, and what kind of peace does that bring to anybody?
Nothing.
Yeah,
Nobody.
It's just stupid.
Yeah.
Did he come out that hard or strong? Hard or strong?
There's a picture of him crying. He's got a
the
tear
seals-
coming
yeah,
down.
when the seals
How
go
about the
down,
Little Rock?
yeah.
Did he come out that hard?
Yeah.
Little Rock. How about down at Fort Hood? Did he come out that strong
No.
against Fort Hood?
No.
We're going to put an end to this type of killings that happen.
To Islamic Jihad, yeah.
No,
No,
he didn't
of
even
course
bother.
not.
He didn't say 2 words.
Maybe
about
this
it.
is workplace violence. Maybe that's what this is.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
And I just want to ask you: can someday you do a show? I just saw this on YouTube. This House bill that's either getting ready to pass or it's passed. The president could actually have U.S. citizens murdered, and they were showing literally plastic coffins that are in 5 or 6 states, and this 9.7, or I think it's 400 and something million bullets.
Yes, sure. We can. Yeah, it's there was a bill signed that gives the president in extreme situations the ability to declare martial law, and there's some thinking of some of the issues you're bringing up, that these can occur, and that the groundwork for not murdering citizens but detaining them, and I mean, in a national emergency with martial law, if the citizens fight against the government, as we're seeing in the Middle East, sure, the government can try to stop the citizens. Yeah, we could do a show on that, because there's a lot of confusion on that. I've talked to some very good friends of mine who are federal prosecutors that are on our side, and they really show that we don't have, as serious as it may sound, it's not as bad as a lot of people think it is, the situation. So we can do a show on that for sure. We will. I got to get going right now because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
We got a couple other colleagues, Michael.
Yeah, we also have Rolando on the line, but maybe you can call back. Maybe you can call back.
Yeah, we got to take a break right now.
We got to take a break and give us a call back in the next hour.
Yep, we're winging it here today. We're going to bring you latest and breaking information and try to stay on top of this, and we will, because there's a lot breaking. Here we go.